So where do you put your money if you're young and the choice is to buy either a house or a condo or buy Bitcoin? There are downsides to both and big potential upsides to both. Full disclosure though, I'm a highly experienced real estate professional, but I am not a professional investment advisor. So I'm going to be as factual as I can, but the pros and cons and the thoughts that I'm going to share are my opinion and my opinion only, and for you to decide with the advice of a professional investment advisor. So full disclaimer in the description below. Let's start with the pros of buying real estate. Did you know that owners have 40 times the wealth of renters, according to a Federal Reserve study? The average homeowner's net worth is $400,000, and the average net worth of a renter is only $10,000. So there are a lot of reasons for this, but with each mortgage payment, you own more and more of the house, and you have less and less debt. All the while, the property is increasing in value over the long term because, let's face it, real estate has never gone down and stayed down. So if you own it for many years, the value is likely to have gone up, and in some cases by a lot. Rent, on the other hand, does not contribute to your wealth. It's a monthly cost to you with absolutely no long-term financial gain. Money goes right out the window. So let's talk about the growth. Historically, real estate grows at 3 to 5% per year. That's relatively low and slow, but it's steady. And you do have some control over that growth in value by making upgrades and improvements to the property. It also provides shelter for you without having to be a tenant and deal with a landlord and annual rent increases. And it also gives you financial stability in terms of predictability. If you have a fixed mortgage payment or fixed mortgage rate, that means that the principal and interest portion of your payment stays the same for as many as 30 years. So imagine that, it's pretty great. Real estate's also a tangible asset that you can touch, like gold or art or commodities. Real estate can bring income if you rent out a room or part of your house if it's a two-family. And real estate also provides tax benefits when it comes time to file your taxes. Let's talk about the cons of real estate. Very high barrier to entry and upfront costs. So it's not like buying a few stocks or a small amount of Bitcoin. It's probably the most expensive purchase of your life, and there's a lot of money that goes into making that transaction happen. Interest rates are high. Maintenance and repair costs every year are pretty high. Insurance and property taxes are high. And real estate is not liquid, so you cannot sell it quickly. So say if you lose your job or you get relocated, it takes weeks or months to sell real estate. So now let's move on to the pros of Bitcoin. Let's talk about growth there. Now, Bitcoin has outperformed most asset classes in the last decade. In fact, since 2020, it's up over 50%. In some years, over 100%. So Bitcoin has climbed higher and with greater returns than a lot of people believe possible. The future growth points to supply and demand. Bitcoin is the only digital currency with a limited supply. There are only 21 million coins to be mined, and there will never be more than 21 million. So they're not making more of it, and many financial institutions have the value of one Bitcoin at 1 million within a decade, if not sooner. But others think that it's a bubble that will collapse at some point. Next, you've got widespread adoption. So Bitcoin is now owned by the US government, corporations, financial institutions, some state governments, countries, and sovereign wealth funds all around the world. Now, before 2024, there was a lot of fear out there over theft and hacking, and it was hard to know how to store it and protect it. But in 2024, the US government addressed that and paved the way to buy it in an ETF through established financial firms like Fidelity and BlackRock. So an ETF is a type of investment fund, so anyone can buy it and there's no barrier to entry. Then in March of 2025, the US created the United States Strategic Reserve to stockpile Bitcoin, like they did for oil. And there are about 200,000 coins in it, and it's managed by the US Treasury Department. So the US is taking Bitcoin very seriously. Next, unlike a house, Bitcoin can be bought in very small amounts, either directly called Satoshis or shares in an ETF. There's also near instant liquidity. 24/7 globally. You can buy and sell Bitcoin and move money around the world almost instantly compared to all the red tape of moving money through banks. The blockchain where it lives that's a decentralized digital ledger that records every Bitcoin transaction and is visible to the entire network with absolute transparency. Also, the costs are very little in terms of the fees to buy and maintain Bitcoin. Now let's talk about the cons of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is considered to have volatility. The price of Bitcoin moves around a lot. Despite its high growth history over the last few years, and innovation of any kind always comes with risk. But despite all that, the government, corporations, and countries that are buying it up, they all come with disclosures and warnings that it's a highly speculative investment. It depends on your appetite for risk. If it's high, then you'll see it as an opportunity. If it's low, then Bitcoin's probably not for you. Another con of Bitcoin is that if you choose Bitcoin instead of buying real estate, that keeps you a renter. And that can be an unstable lifestyle, and rents can increase annually and everything that goes along with being a renter. The third con for Bitcoin is custodial safekeeping risks. So while cold storage is the most secure method for protecting Bitcoin, it puts the full responsibility of the physical security of it on you, compared to owning it through an exchange or buying it in an ETF at a financial firm. So if you choose your own cold storage and misplace your recovery information or your passwords, you could lose it. So how do you decide? This chart shows the median home price in 2017, which at the time would have taken 24 Bitcoin to buy. But in 2025, 8 years later, housing only increased by about 24%, but it only takes 4 Bitcoin to buy that same house, as Bitcoin increased over 60%. So the point is, even if Bitcoin continues to be volatile but still grow, if you're young, you have time to recover from volatility, and housing becomes attractive later on as a stability anchor. But if you want or need stability now, then I'd choose real estate. But if you'd rather use early capital on an appreciating and liquid asset, then I'd choose Bitcoin. So there you have it. I hope that helped. Please feel free to comment and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for all things real estate, and I will see you next time.